Just as a reminder, all of the Bill of Rights, all 10 amendments, are equally important. None is more important than the other. The Second Amendment is not some orphan adoptee in the Bill of Rights. It has an equal position as the First Amendment, which is cherished for free speech. Some people don't like the idea of free speech or the First Amendment, forgetting the fact that without the Second Amendment, you don't have a First Amendment. As a matter of fact, you don't have any others either. But there's a phenomenon going on that you and I, in the armed lifestyle, Second Amendment community, we also need to cherish the First Amendment. And what that means is we should exercise our Second Amendment while doing the First Amendment. So when we go to rallies, participate at rallies, we should be armed. There's no reason not to be, unless the venue is on federal property. And remember, you can't carry a firearm on federal property. So if you're going to have a two-way event, make sure it's not on federal property, in a federal park somewhere that requires federal permission to use, because you will be denied that. Let people know it's a free speech First Amendment event about the Second Amendment. And so if people come, they should expect to see people carrying firearms. Now, there are people who don't like the idea of seeing people with firearms and would argue that people with guns freeze the conversation. It's a freezing action. It chills the conversation. It chills the debate. Because the people that don't have guns are now afraid to speak their mind. They're afraid to share their opinion. Maybe they think somebody with a gun is going to shoot them for that, which is a crime, by the way. It's called murder, and no one's going to do that. So that's a specious argument, right? Anyone who comes to a public event where the First Amendment is being exercised and the Second Amendment is being exercised, it doesn't matter who, right? If like me, I support teachers. There's a place in heaven for every K-12 teacher, right? But if I go to a protest or a march that they're going to be doing, I'm going to be carrying a firearm and everybody's going to know it. Why? Well, because I can, and two, I still support the things that they stand for. You see what I'm saying? If I support the right of a woman to choose, right? I'm going to go and stand with them, but I'm going to stand with them exercising my Second Amendment right as well. Because the only people who feel chilled out of the conversation are cowards and bullies. Because they don't have anything constructive to say. They want to be able to use intimidation. And they have to behave themselves. So if seeing someone who is armed causes someone to behave themselves, and they call that a chilling effect, I think that's a good result. Because an armed society is a polite society. You do not see armed citizens at a free speech event taking out their firearms and waving them at people to intimidate them. You do see people coming to those events with sticks, bats, bottles, and all other manner of tool to create mayhem, right? But they stop when they see that there are people on the other side that have firearms. Oh, by the way, they have a right to bring firearms as well. Now that terrifies the cops, sucks to be them, because they have to stand in the breach. They have to stand in the middle between the two sides. As they should. Their job is to keep the peace. That's their job, right? And it's the citizens' rights to protest and counter-protest, but it is neither of their right to use force to silence the other person. Enter the Antifa people. You're starting to see less and less of their involvement in events where the Second Amendment is allowed. And when it is, you see them being kept away. My point to come back is exercising your Second Amendment right while you're exercising the First Amendment does not inherently cause a chilling effect to cause others to not be able to speak their mind and to contribute. It does tell them to fucking behave themselves and put the sticks and bats down, right? And stop trying to cause a fight. Literally cause a fight. And if what they want to do is fight, if what they want to do is get things boosted up for the cameras, well, if they do it the wrong way, if they try to be bullies and they try to intimidate people physically, they could fail the room temperature test. I mean, and the person defending themselves against that kind of behavior will not be charged. So does it increase the job? Does it make the job more difficult for law enforcement? Sure. But I don't care. Their job is to keep the peace, not prohibit the exercise of any constitutional right. That's just the job. And if you don't want to do the job, find another job. So I kind of digressed a little bit, but you understand what I'm saying. Exercising the Second Amendment while doing the First does not cause a chilling effect unless the person being chilled intends to misbehave in such a way that they should feel threatened. That's all I'm saying. So with that, I'd appreciate your thoughts. I mean, you might have different feelings than I do. Cool. Please put them down below in the comments. I'd love to read them, and so would the rest of the community. Don't forget to subscribe if you like what you hear, and hit the bell button so you get notified when there's new videos put out. So with that, as always, thanks for watching. Carry on.